Hello, 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 everybody. Everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Oh, guys and girls and all the people of the sea. Like, okay. So, you know, this versus that, to think or not to think, to do something or to not do something, to go this way, to not go this way. This versus that, guys. This versus that. It's crazy enough that that this is basically my second to the last live stream. It's crazy. So what do I mean? Like, get down to the point. But I got so much time on my hands right now. I got a whole hour. If people join, we can continue for a long time. So this versus that, to think or not to think. Or so let's go with to think and not to think. People all the time say, don't overthink the situation. Don't overthink the situation. Just go ahead and just do it. Don't overthink it. Have you ever heard someone say that to you? Has anybody said that around you? Don't overthink the situation, just do it. All right? Again, don't overthink the situation, just do it. Just do it. Just do the situation. Whatever it is. In your brain, you're like, well, I have to think of the situation before I just do it. Hello, Shaggy Girl. Am I correct? You have to think about the situation before you can just jump and do it. But I have heard many cocky people out there that are so cocky on they can answer the question so fast in an instant. Like I have known way too many people like that around me. Oh, I know the answer, so I'm just gonna, it's not a race over here. What's the name of that game? Oh, Family Feud. I think that's what it's called. Where they push the button, bang, and you're like, okay, it's not a race, guys. It's not a race. You make your choices by what you think. People they have the brain problems where they don't leave a gap. I have known people that have brain problems that do not leave a gap. And those people, mostly that have these brain problems, have gotten into an accident. All the time. I have known several human beings that have gotten into an accident. Car accident, most of the time. And then they were disabled for a little bit. And then after disabled, their brain just started like, bam, bam, think fast. Bam, bam, bam. Either they're taking some brain pills or they're taking something. And their brain is extra fast. Like, got wires going off up in the brain, man. Not even freaking brain cells, like wires. So hyper. I gotta answer this question. I gotta do it fast. I gotta do everything fast. Slow down, bunny rabbit. Slow the F down, bunny rabbit. And take it easy, man. Think about the situation. Take it easy. Sometimes you're like, well, my brain's not that slow. The cocky people out there be like, oh, my brain's not that slow. How am I going to take it easy? And like, blah, 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 and they just keep going because they don't want to leave a gap. Every once in a while, breathe in and out. And then leave a gap so that way you won't have that problem. And people are like, I don't see a problem. Only you see the problem. And it's like, I see the problem, yes, and I'm telling you and I'm addressing you the problem. So, again, to think or to not think. Because you know another story too. And the sun is setting, guys. The sun is setting. Another story is that when we were in school, escuela over here, when we're in school, we are taught to think over the problem. They gave us homework. I personally didn't have homework. A lot of people were like, wow, you're so lucky. No, because my brain development was not that great for homework. You may be asking, like, damn, son, like, you're that dumb? Yes, I am. My brain development at a young age was not that great. So, what did I have to do with the situation? Every time a test happened, everybody, like, well, in the fast kids section, because I had been put in special ed because I was that slow. But in the fast people section, like the regular kids, they say, finish this quiz or finish this test, put your pencil down. And all you hear is, and the pencil goes down. Man, how was that tampering with my brain, my little brain? How was that tampering with my little brain? Because I wanted to read over the situation. I wanted to understand what the sentence was saying and try to problem solve it. Because my ability to think it was just too much. Like, it was hard for me to think about it. And I'll read it and it won't sound right. Or I'll read it and then nothing will come out. Like, it will not comprehendo to me. So then I was like, that's just crazy to think about that. Because before they used to tell us in school to think about the area. Well, first of all, let me continue with that one because, again, I'm jumping around. I try not to be dyslexic over here like some people effing Arado. But I was in school for that. And then I just kept getting on my nerves, and they kept waiting on me. Like, aren't you finished with the test? Like, come on, it's not that hard. It's so easy. The test was so easy. Didn't you study for it? So when I got put into the special ed, we had blocks. Well, not actual blocks, but we had, I guess, cardboard thingamabobbers to put over our desk. So the teacher won't be able to see us in a different perspective, but at the same time, we isolated ourselves so that way we can think about it. And they even said, don't put your pencil down hard, because once you hit that pencil, if you hear it in the back of your mind, you know, oh man, somebody's done. Somebody's finished. On certain occasions, they would take people out the classroom. You won't know because you have this, almost like a horse in training, or a horse in general downtown. They have the little mask over their head, and then they have it component to just facing forward so they don't see nothing on their peripheral vision. That's exactly how I was taught. To don't get distracted about anything, anywhere, just because the person next to you finished the quiz or test. Don't get distracted, because we get our minds distracted by any little thing that happens in the background. Well, I did, because again, I'm special ed. And so I'm all like, I thought about the situation. I thought about the contents that the sentence was telling me. And then I'll go ahead and do it. Go ahead and, put in the bubbles, or if it had like, if it was just like just put this, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, I would put that. If I just did it, I wouldn't pass. And there has been times where I'll get frustrated that I don't know the answer. So then I guess the answer and I still don't pass. I physically was not that great in school. Not that great. I failed every single class, even PE. I failed PE because I wasn't participating. Because again, I wasn't that type of person. I didn't have no one. Every time someone chose something, I was the last pick because I didn't have a personality in school. I just wanted to be by myself, and again, being by myself. I don't want to be into sports. I don't like these things. Like, just wanted to be myself. Yes, it was an athlete thing. A whole bunch of times. A whole bunch of times. And it's crazy to think about how those learning judgments that taught me in school to think about the situation, think about the topic, think about what is going on with Ted and Fred in the sentence. Now, what did Ted and Fred do? You start thinking about it. You think about it. But in this world, right now we live today, they're like, you're such a grown person. You're a grown up. Don't overthink the situation and just put what you got. And I'm not like, bro, really? So you're trying to tell me that the stuff that I learned in school, elementary, grade school, you're trying to tell me that I'm dumb for being an adult and not thinking about the consequences of situations? Like, person can think about the consequences. Some people can think about the consequences a lot faster than the others. That's just human nature. Some of us are slower than those. Some people can only run at a certain pace. If they train themselves to go faster, yes, you will go faster. So what does it take? For more training, more reading, more understanding the problem solving, exercise your brain cuticles a little bit more to think a little faster. But it doesn't happen just like that. You gotta focus on a situation. And a lot of these folks out here, after being in a facility that was high pace, I started realizing, like, bro, my brain hurts. And my brain did hurt. The last facility I was in, my brain hurt because I have not thinking of that hardcore or that much, because everything that I was doing before was all just natural. It's a hold on, there's a kid with her bicycle. Yeah, so it was all just natural. All just natural. And I'm like, that is pretty intense. And it's okay to have floating mind. When I was at my old job, everything, what do you call it? I guess you're an autopilot, basically, I would say. You come into work, you do this, you write up this, you do that, and it's just a repeated process. With a new atmosphere, I was learning a lot of things all at once. And it was not looking pretty for me, my learning disabilities. Just because we're an adult doesn't mean that we have to think the situation fast at all. I don't know how much it hurts me to have someone in my life, had someone in my life that said, you have to be faster. You have to think fast. And the way I conspiracy it over here sometimes is when your phone drops, and it's your phone, you know it's gonna drop, it's gonna crack and bust its own ass. Your phone drops. What happens when your phone drops? Or it feels like it's gonna drop. Your reaction time is like bam. Because you're trying to catch the phone. Does that work in naturality where you're trying to think it over a situation? It's two different things. Reflexes versus your mind is two different things. You can combine those two and have the same reflexes, have the same mindset. You can combine them. I'm not saying you don't have to, you can. And you'll be a much faster person. But in all, you still got to think about the situation before you just do it. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to fill my cup. It's been 14 minutes. But you know, and then this versus that. Here we're already getting 17 minutes into it. Dang, son. The sun is setting, guys. The sun is setting. Rolled up my window a little bit more. But I personally don't mind if someone's got to think about the situation. It's not a time attack here. I understand how people are like, you want to go out this evening? I understand someone being, let me think about it. Hold on. Because when they say, oh, let me think about it, it's either yes or no, but you don't have to penetrate. Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing. That's a pet peeve. Commitment, guys. Commitment. So, and then if the person says, well, I think so, but then they forgot they have to walk their dog at 7 o'clock. And then they're like, well, you wanted to meet at 7 o'clock. I have to walk my dog at 7 o'clock. That's fine. You know, in my terms now, oh, that's fine. Just let's go out after you walk the dog. Like, and they're like, well, after I walk the dog, I get sweaty and I want to go to sleep. Some people are not honest. They're not honest. And I go, what the heck? Just say it that you don't want to hang out, and it's just simple as that. I don't know how hard it is to tell someone something. I don't, because I tell everybody like it is, and even though it hurts them, again, that coming back to my old live stream, if I hurt you with words, then I know that I did something right, because I was telling you the truth, because you've never been told the truth. You've never been told the truth. But here we are. I'm telling you the truth, and now you may not like it. But commitment, yes or no? This versus that, I'm saying yes or no. Yes or no is what we've been taught most of our lives. I can't say that, because when you're a teenager, and your mom or aunt or whoever that's raising you at that time is saying, you want to go with us? We're going to Burger King. And you reply yes or no. If you don't reply yes or no within that time frame, and that person's like, yeah, you leave a gap and you say, I don't know. This is why people have I don't know problems, because of the rushness. Like, oh, you're in a rush. Instead of approaching, of course, spontaneousness is thing these days and was a thing back then, and then now it's more. So if a person approaches you, hey, we're going to McDonald's. You want to come? Come on, we're going right now. Let's go. You want to come? And you're like stuck because you're like, I don't know. So you say, I don't know, instead of saying, yes, I will go. And no, I don't feel like it. Because we haven't comforted a person in that situation yet. But if the person approaches you like, hey, we're going to McDonald's. You want to come with us? You say, sure, yes. The approach is different. The approach is chill. If someone says, hey, bro, we're going to McDonald's. You want to go? You want to chill with us at McDonald's? You want to come chill with us? Well, yeah, I would love to chill. Because you're approaching the person differently. You're approaching this versus that. Being rushed or being chilled about the situation. I feel like I'm more chilled about the situation now that the time rushing, because rushing will rush my brain. And yes, oh, it's difficult for your brain to be rushed. Like, that's how we live life when we constantly rotating. Yeah, because you're constantly in a rush. You gotta slow it down, buddy. Again, slow it down, buddy. Why are we so in a rush these days? Just why? I have never met one person in my life that is not that much of in a rush. And that doesn't smoke the W. Because the people that smoke the W, they're like, no, I'm chill, bro. I'm talking about real life people that are chill, that don't have any additives, substitutes, any smoking pots or anything like that to be chill. It's just so weird. A natural, chill person. And that thinks about the situation. Oh, don't overthink about it. And even in tests and assessments, oh, I have been doing assessments and I'm all like, they're judging you. All I keep thinking about in the back of my mind is that they're judging you on what you pick. And there's a graph behind this judgment. Like, why would you have an assessment for 30 minutes knowing dang good well the brain will not focus for a darn second? Because now we are on a like a TikTok mode where it's like when people start talking and they elaborate, it's like, no, stop elaborating, bro. Like, I just get down to the point. When people say get down to the point when they're talking to me, I'm out. Because I don't like to be rushed upon. Just because you're in a rush means I have to be in a rush. Like, say, what? Since when did that happen? 2023 or 2028? Like, for real? This versus that, man. Your thoughts, your feelings at work versus work ethics. I feel like everybody once in a while should vent out to their associates, but not say too much. There's only a certain amount you want to say to your associates. Once you start feeling the vibe and stuff, you don't have to say, oh, you don't speak Spanish. Why don't you speak Spanish? Where's your mom from? It's like, why does that matter? Why does your background history matter? Like, everybody is more focused. If you're Hispanic or Asian, everybody is more focused on where you come from, on what your parents come from. I don't know why that is. I have no idea. Everybody is focused on where your parents come from just because you're Hispanic, you don't speak Spanish. Hello, hello, diamonds. Hey, I'm out here and about, but here. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Because I won't be here for long. I got one more live stream and that's it. Mofo BM World is signing off on YouTube. YouTube live stream. But yeah, guys, I don't understand the fact that they have to do this to us. When you're thinking and then you get distracted, you don't want to feel dumb. I had a manager the same freaking way where he was thinking, he got distracted. He expected you to pause where he paused and expected you to remember where he paused at. And that's just so toxic. That is so toxic. I cannot tell you how toxic that is, because that's just basically saying, I don't want to make sure I didn't forget. Forgetting is okay, guys. Forgetting where you lost yourself is okay. That's the same thing why I said how long in my live stream, I was like, how long can you keep a conversation going? How long? How long will a conversation of yours go for until you get distracted or not talk anymore? Or just say, yeah. It's pretty intense, guys. It's pretty intense. I'm gonna go empty my cup. Be right back. The sun is glaring. The key to that too, I would say, I met a person like that, and it's like, quickly respond to your answers. Just because you think it's a great answer, you didn't look at the consequences about it. I want to show that person one day, I'm telling you, one day it's gonna happen. I'm gonna show that person and sneak it onto them and be like, this versus that. I'm not gonna say anything on the YouTube live stream because that would be complete savage right there. But I am going to do the ultimate, and they think it's right for this action. They will choose that action, but it's gonna come with consequences. They'll be like, well, why did it come with these consequences? I chose the best answer that there was. This is actually a good answer, but it's not the best answer. And I'll show you why. And I'll continue to be that type of person. And then people wonder, like, well, this is why you don't have any friends for. You don't have any friends because you don't have any friends because you tell the truth. That's crazy. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? That's crazy. You don't have any friends because you know how to tell the truth, but you have chosen to try to hurt people with the truth. Therefore, you may dislike yourself just because they think it's a put down, because other people have said this to them. Well, if they're putting you down, that means they don't like themselves. How many people have said that? Come, raise your mofo hands over here, or freaking do something in the comments. How many people have said throughout the whole entire lifespan, well, if someone tries to put you down and they say that you look ugly or whatever, that means they're self-reflecting. How many people have said that? How many people have said that? Come on. Is it self-reflecting, or is it telling you the truth, guys? Your mind has not processed that. People's minds have not processed that. Just because someone's telling you the truth, that means they're self-conscious about themselves. It all depends on how they say it. Here's a little representative. So Becky says to Cassandra, hey, how does this dress look on me, guys? Like, Cassandra's like, yeah, it's totally ugly. Like, Becky's like, what do you mean? What is it ugly? It all depends on how you say it. Cassandra could have easily said, that dress, it doesn't suit you. And here's why it doesn't suit you. You got big arms, so the dress shows a lot of your arms, a lot of flubber. And also, it's just too short. Like, it's really short. Instead of saying, that dress looks so ugly on you, like, sure, you're telling the truth, but if you tell it with more verbs and adjectives, the outcome will be a lot better. The outcome of Becky will be like, thank you, Cassandra. You always know the best. And it's like, if you say it correctly, things will go correctly. If you're meeting a new boss and the boss asks you about something, like out of your old job, but you don't want to think about it, they're pressuring you to tell them about your old job. It's the same thing like relationships. Like, a job will pressure you to say, what happened with your last employer? Versus a ex-boyfriend will say, well, your boyfriend now would say, so what happened with your ex-boyfriend? Why didn't it work out? Or what happened? Why did y'all leave? Again, this versus that. What approach is there for? Like, you're there for the interview, not there to showcase the other job. You're there to date a new person, not for the person to see what your past was going at that time. Let them know. If you feel comfortable with it, you can say, I don't want to talk about it. And if you say, I don't want to talk about it, that means, oh, you got fired. If you have a straight up answer and say, oh, well, this and this and this and this, they don't want to hear that. They just want to know why you left. Why are you seeking a better job? And the focus is not on that. And you got to put that into brain conspiracy. The next time that something happens like that, put it into your brain. Oh my God, hold on. Oh, I had to sneeze. I have the microphone a little closer. So you probably hear a lot of epic stuff. Oh, I just sneezed. But this versus that, there's a lot of this versus that. My main one is thinking fast. Just because you don't think fast doesn't mean anything, guys. Honestly. I'll take a slow learner out of any day than a fast learner that's like, I got this, because they have their egos so high that they say they got it, but then they don't got it. But they just say it. Just like a teenager that says, I know. And you tell them that this could have this, I know. And the teenager just keeps saying, I know. It's the same thing. They say that they know, but they actually have not experienced it. I want to see what other people think about this versus that situation. Being slow or being smart. Thinking fast, not thinking fast. There's a lot of this versus that. I can keep going on with it. I have never met so many people within a couple of years, I guess, that try to think fast. I was in an area before, and they would speak before they even think about it. And you're like, are you even knowing what you're saying? And then they say, I didn't say that. Because you spoke it so fast, you thought it so fast that your brain didn't process of what you said. And then they're all like, you're putting words in my mouth. You spoke it so fast that the words came out of your mouth so fast that your brain didn't even comprehend what you just said. That's what a lot of rappers do. Some rappers, they'll just start rapping up a storm. And they don't even know what they just said. They just know it sounded correctly. Just sounded good. And to put it in that perspective, you know for a fact that people are judging you by your fastness. And people are like, oh, hit this button. And you're like, oh, sorry, brain fart. Some may consider it as a blonde moment. Oh, I just had a blonde moment, even though I'm not blonde. So you're telling me that blondes, you can't just say, oh, since I have black hair, hold on, that sounded really wrong. But if you had orange hair, no, not orange hair, blue hair. Oh, I just got blue hair, and I'm just thinking like a blue-haired person. So that has got to be the dumbest thing I ever heard. Literally. People, and then they try to distract you on paying attention to them. So this versus that, this is one episode over here. A understanding coworker versus a non-understanding coworker. And it's a workplace. So they're like, Well, why would you be understanding at a workplace? Like, you have no feelings, you have no emotions. You don't have to understand the other person. You just work with them. And that goes a long way. That literally goes a long mofo way. There's multiple ways you can look at the situation. Oh my God, story time. Let me go refill my cup and hold on. I got a story time. Oh, I got a story time. Hold on. Okay, here I come. I refill my cup. All right, I'm gonna make this a little shorter than what he represented as. One of my old bosses represented as. My old boss was a big dick, a big dick. I mean a big dick. Makes one of my old bosses look better than him. That's crazy. But he was telling a story, and of course he got me lost in a couple of spots. But he was telling a story. So he said, in basic terms, this guy is in the middle of the woods. A big box covers him. Just randomly covers him. Big box that was made out of metal covers him. Then the box has like an opening somehow, some way. He hears lions in the back. And I'm propping up the story a little bit. If you do see this, stupid, never mind. But if you do see this, I'm propping up the story a little bit because it doesn't make sense. So the guy's in the box. He has his baby in a metal box. The whole thing is metal. He has one opening. He hears lions in the distance going crazy. They want to eat him. They want to eat him and the baby. And then he sees an elephant. The elephant comes around, and then the lions attack the elephant, blocking the doorway. For some reason, the lions are somewhere around there waiting for this guy to get out of the box. He says, what would you do at that time if the elephant is blocking the door? And what would you do if the elephant blocked the door and the lions are still around? What would you do? And I started thinking, he said, don't overthink the situation. What would you do? That's why you think about the situation, bro. You overthink it. So what I said, was you skin it. And he's like, you ain't got no tools. You pry it open. Well, actually, he said you skin. I said you skin it. You grab it and you tear it. Tear it apart as much as possible. You ain't got no tools. After he said that, I said, well, you get underneath, and then you crawl. You make your way out by cloning yourself into this world with an elephant. So you're one with the elephant. And then I kept saying different things, and he kept cutting me off. And he didn't want to acknowledge the fact that I said the first one correctly. Was you basically rip it open, tear it open, eat on it. Cut me off. He said, no, what would you do? I said, exactly what I would do. Rip it open, If it's blocking the doorway, you ain't got no tools. Of course, you're going to either try to kill it more, poke its skin. You can't poke it, so you bite it. He cut me off when I said that because he knew I knew the right answer right then and there. And that's how much of a person that he is. But in the long run, well, just because the animal is standing in the doorway and it's dead on the doorway doesn't give you any options. Like, oh, I don't know what I would do. Here's what I'll tell you what I'll do. Of course you're going to eat the animal. You look at all the objects, like, it just didn't make any sense. Because the cutoff time where he's like, don't overthink the situation. Because he was in demand of an answer right then and there. And say, I don't know. When people are demanding like that, they're toxic. They're toxic. Instead of acknowledging the fact that I'll say, I'll pry it open, I'll do something, if I got nails, I'll pry it. If I don't, I'll bite into it, and take its skin off and rip it apart. Instead of acknowledging the fact that I said that, he overwhelmed himself and said, I want to finish the story, so let me finish it. I'm like, bro. Yeah, something definitely wrong. You didn't acknowledge the fact that I said that. You acknowledged that you had a story to tell, and you thought it was so dumb, complex, that I would say, I don't know. And that's why we never got along. That's why we never got along. But that is just a little story time. I can't believe this versus that. Everything. Friends versus family. Everybody's going to choose family. Why? Because they have it in their ego mind. Family first, right? And sometimes they're like, my friend is my family. We've been friends since X amount of years, X amount of days that I was born. So it all depends on the situation. This versus that. Friends versus family. If a person never had friends such as I did, of course I'm going to choose family. But at the same time, family is not always going to be there for my choices. So then I'll have to choose my own self. And then a lot of people predict you have to choose one. And that's one thing that's about me that is crazy. Is that I feel like every problem has a lot of solutions. Oh, did I think that way whenever I was about like 7-8 years ago? Oh no, actually even more. Jeez. 13 years ago probably. I was in an insurance job at Primerica. I don't know if anybody heard of Primerica, but I was working for Primerica. Oh man, those were the weirdest days. Like, I had to get distracted right there because Primerica was an insurance company. And so at that time, at that age, I think I was 23, 24. They were trying to brainwash me so hardcore, and I'm talking about brainwash me so hardcore, and this is the best industry, but I had to put forward into it. So I had to pass a test. The test had which of the following in there. Oh, did I hate those tests. Throughout my whole entire learning history in middle school, elementary, grade school, elementary, freaking high school, college, some college, because after the fact that you're more there. Which of the following? I've never had to encounter of which of the following at all in my grade school history. All 12 years of my life in school, I've never had to deal with which of the following. So you know how confusing that those tests were? Which of the following? Which of the following? When a person asks a question, it's why, how, in the beginning, why and how. Then you get follow-ups on different types of subjects on what is a question. So in my brain, I was out of there. I was like, wait a minute, what is which of the following? How do you answer a question that says which of the following are correct? My little brain cannot think of which of the following because my little brain is thinking about where's the question at? Like, come on, man. And I still have those books to this day. But which of the following? That's not a question, man. Because you're giving me a choice. You're giving me a choice. And it feels like a multiple choice. So I feel like all these answers must be right. But you're just not saying it. And every single time, I will answer the question. Well, the which of the following question. I'll get it wrong. Every single time. Because the world didn't prepare me. School did not prepare me to answer questions of which of the following. At all. And I really think that was so toxic. And I was like, again, 23, 24 maybe. At that age. And I was still trying to comprehend that question. This versus that, man. This versus that. It's just crazy, man. Self-consciousness. Oh, the sun has set, you guys. The sun has set. Self-consciousness is a thing. Being aware, taking your time is another thing. I don't know how many factors do we play out in life. I did recently say something on the internet world. If you had the chance to go to another planet, would you? A lot of people overthought that situation. Like, yeah, hell yeah. The quick people didn't overthink it. But, oh, hell yeah, yeah. Right now, to this day, I would. Aliens come and take me. Right now. People that thought about the situation would say it depends. Will they have more to offer? Or it depends because my family is here and I would have to take my whole family. I have to take my whole family with me under the Alien Invasion Act. Because the aliens are putting a spotlight. You're just going to go gather all your family together and say, hey, family, come with me with the aliens. We're going to go to a different planet. Or you're just going to think about yourself. Because the fast people will say, hell yeah, right now. So you would just up and leave your pets at home. You will up and leave because the aliens are coming to save you from this world. Would you go? Would you go? No more pets. No more nothing. No more feelings. Family. You disappeared. You go into a new planet. You don't know if they're going to come and bring you back. It's not you don't know if it's definite. Is it a one-way trip? Or is it a trip to their planet coming back? You don't know. But would you? If you had zero family, people would say, yes, I would. If you have a family, they'll say, I want to take my family too. It's just human nature. And I think the best choice is if the aliens do that to people, it's people that have a big family. Big family. Because you got to think about it. Think about it. My manager used to be like, oh yeah, we have aliens already on this planet. Which is human beings. I'm like, well, you start laughing now, but what happens if you do see one and one wants to attack you or one wants to be friends with you? Like, what would you do? Oh, yeah, guys. I've been talking up a storm for an hour by myself. Almost an hour by myself. That's just crazy, guys. And there's another thing, too. This versus that. TikTok versus YouTube live stream. YouTube live stream versus TikTok live stream. Which one is a better platform for my mental health? YouTube or TikTok live stream? Because I was thinking, since I'm not going to be doing live streams on YouTube, a bigger platform is there on TikTok. And it's like, will I start streaming on TikTok that this gap is here? Will I? Should I? I don't know, leave it in the comment section. Should I just start streaming on TikTok than YouTube? Because what YouTube has offered me was nothing but people that were roaching on my channel, people that have came here from another channel. But with TikTok, it's people that actually like your content and want to see more of you. And it's not about like, hey, hi, thank you for the subs, thank you for the subs, thank you for the subs, hey, hi, woo, thank you for the cherry, thank you for the cherry, thank you, hey. You know, I'm not trying to get like that. If it has to come to that, then it's going to have to come to that. But what I do know on the internet world, people's attention spans is not that high. I don't know how long a person can look at someone's live stream on TikTok. And there's only one way to find out. Only one way to find out. Everybody on my Instagram is selected by me personally. But TikTok versus YouTube, two different things. Two different things here. Will I be a TikTok addict? I'm not sure. Will I quit YouTube because of this TikTok? We're not sure. YouTube will always still be my platform. Still gonna be there for it. I've been here 1 hour already, still talking to myself. If I was talking on TikTok, I would have more followers, more people to talk to because people are just dropping by. Hey, I saw your TikTok. Hey, what you talking about? I have a Shaggy Girl that popped in, so that makes 5 minutes. And then Diamonds that just popped in, so that makes 10 minutes. So I'll be here 1 hour and 10 minutes. If I had a good conversation, I would be here so much longer. About 3 hours or more. But I just don't understand sometimes. I just don't understand. This versus that. There's a lot of this versus that. And again, I could continue. I don't know what this little girl is doing. She's like banging on the door, like open it, but it's like it's open. I like this little girl's hair though. Don't get me wrong. She got some epic hair. Like really epic hair. But yeah, nobody's here, nobody's joining. It's pretty dull up in here. And I don't mind talking to myself because that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next couple of days, if not. And my next live stream is gonna be the end of season 2 for BN World. And that is tomorrow. Oh, I'm gonna miss, popping up on YouTube live stream. But this time away from the world has got me thinking so much. I don't even want to work anymore. Like, I don't. That's how much time has passed. It's like, I don't want to work anymore. Like, I cannot handle the fact that someone has to be in control of my day, of my hours. I actually want to find an at-work home job. Because I'm just so sick and tired of this control, toxic environment that we have to go through on a daily. Everybody just does the same thing to survive this world. It's so freaking heartbreaking, bro. It is so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. Everybody has to get up in the morning or get up, get ready, go to work, clock in, hear your boss rant, come home, eat, and go to sleep. Get ready, go home, go this, do that. Everything is so robotic, and it changes my mind and my whole mentality on the world. Like, it breaks my freaking heart to see people constantly working, paying the bills, and getting nowhere. It breaks my mofo heart. And they're not even spending on half of their check is on bills, in which I said don't live check by check, but now my brain is turning in circles and saying that this world is now living check by check, because our groceries have went up, everything has gone up, and it's been super overwhelming and super crazy. I can't believe this world, and I cannot believe how far we've gone on doing this stuff. I can't. It truly, truly breaks my heart. It's a nonstop, and the more reality check you see, the more craziness like you see. I just have no words. This versus that. I have said so much in 1 hour just talking to myself, explaining to others. I have gotten exhausted lately doing even DoorDash orders. How exhausting is that? It is so exhausting. Because I'm always worried about my gas. If I drive to work, to and from work, and I fill up like $20 worth in a week, I need more gas. It's good for fuel efficiency vehicles, but not good for a straight pipe BMW that is lowered, because I'm constantly thinking of potholes. I'm constantly thinking of my way around speed bumps. I got speed bumps here. I gotta be careful. Therefore, my time on the time attack is like, okay, you took a minute too long. Well, there was 7 speed bumps. If there was 7 speed bumps and my car is really low, I have to take it very slowly. There's a Chevy Malibu 2018. Man, I remember working with those. I actually miss working with cars. My last boss, I felt like he didn't love cars. I felt like he got into his industry because of money. Because he's like, bam, baby, people need cars. Bam, baby. So we're gonna fix their cars, and bam, that's how I'm gonna make the money, because bam, people need cars. I hate that. If a person has problems like that, and I see it in reality, I'm like, heck no, bro. I'm overfill my cup, and probably gonna end the live stream soon. I got no one here. YouTube platform has taught me a lot through this whole entire time. This is my season 2 for YouTube on Mofo BM World. And I gotta say that it has taught me quite a bit of time where it's only the people that support you. And on TikTok, you get a lot of haters. They call them haters. People that are like, oh no, oh you're wrong, oh don't do that. And it just goes by. The comments go so fast to where you don't even see that. And that's where I need to be. Comments go so fast. And if you want slow comments, it will be on YouTube. If you want fast comments that, you know, that are going to fly by, TikTok is the thing. And I'm not talking about making 6 figures on TikTok. See, I've been talking so much, so long by myself for an hour and 10 minutes. And my voice is starting to go away. And it is 8:07 right now. That's crazy. But yeah, this versus that. Thinking versus not thinking, or versus overthinking the situation. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.